Hello, greetings, this is Gilles Monsieur. I wanted to come and say hello to offer some guidance on this beautiful day, for life is a celebration. We don't really need this reinforcement of guidance through the tarot. It is a help, it is an assistance, but we eventually we're going to move into a state where we feel sure enough about our intuition, to our inner guidance, to move with the flow without having to seek guidance. I'm going to pull out 10 cards from the angels to see what the angels may wish to guide us with today. And the general situation is rest. We have to learn to rest, to relax. For rest is just as important as work. It is a complement and that we have to entertain, we have to play, we have to rest, and we have to work. For this is very important to learn to take the time to rest and relax, to eliminate the stress, to find, or even no matter what work we need to do, we'll be much better doing it if we are in peace within ourselves, we are self-empowered, we are enlightened, and in relation to that, rather than being tired or agitated. What comes across the situation is abundance. Abundance is the ability to do anything we want to do whenever we want to do it. It is about freedom. It is about there's all sorts of abundance, but it is good to be abundant in all ways. For if we are not abundant, it is not the fault of God. It is not the source that is responsible for our lack of abundance. For we have to reinitiate this abundance within ourselves. How do we do that? We share what we have. The more we are able to share, the more we are able to receive as well. What we see in our conscious mind is healing. It's the card of healing. So it is about understanding we don't need to be perfect. We need to understand the wholeness of ourselves, to understand we are whole. And as we do that, we are able to bring wholeness into the situation, to help assist other people in their own healing process. For we all have to heal. The planet is going through this deep purification process, this healing process. In our subconscious, which is our deep memories, for we have a subconscious. 90% of what is going on within our life are subconscious happening. For they are happening below our consciousness. There are also things that are happening above our consciousness, and our consciousness is within a frequency. But as we move closer to full consciousness, all those unconscious aspects are returning into the consciousness. Once we'll be in full consciousness, we'll have no more need for subconscious. We'll have acquired the harmonization of the divine feminine, the divine masculine. We'll have acquire a light body. We'll have psychic power, and will be eternal beings. So in many sense, the subconscious is still very useful to clear as much as possible all those unconscious actions, to become conscious of what we do, what we think, what we say, to become self-empowered in relationship to all our bodies, mental, physical, emotional bodies. So we have authenticity in the subconscious. So that means we have cleared up our intention. We have become sincere. For authenticity is about being to sign on self, be true, to be true to the higher self, to be true to love, to light, to the path of expansion, the path of the soul. And where we are now, there's this love, the card of love. Love is the most it's not something that's qualifiable or quantifiable. We touch on, everybody's looking for love, no matter what. But love is something that's quite mysterious, and we have to, once we discover that love is everywhere present and can be canalized through our own heart, we will seek to elevate ourselves into ever-increasing octaves of love. For love has no limit, for it is the true nature of God and ourself. It is the next situation, what's right around the corner, is luck. For luck is wonderful. It is luck in many senses is good fortune, but all fortune comes from there is no random happenings in the universe. So accept to be whatever circumstances. Trust that you will be lucky, and move forward with trust and confidence. What we are in this situation, our strength is the dream. We have our dreams, and our dreams are very powerful. For the dreams are informing the universe. Positive dreams, I'm not talking about nightmares, but positive dreams are informing the universe of where we seek to go, what our aspiration, so it is important for the universe is a conscious, life is conscious beyond our wildest dream. and why is behind our wildest dream. So we have to trust that process, trust the invisible force that are assisting us. And around us we have creation, where creation is a multi-dimensional experience. It is something to recognize our interdimensional nature, our multi-dimensional self. It is the beginning of something, of a new adventure within life, something, a journey that will end the suffering and will move into an eternal unfoldment of bliss and joy and gratitude and goodness. And so it is about moving into those higher planes. What we see in our hopes and fear is the request. So we are making requests. We are asking the universe for certain things that, as we ask, we receive. So it is about removing all those things that are preventing us from receiving directly or instantaneously. For as we ascend to the 6, 7 dimensions, manifestation become instantaneous as we think it becomes. But until we are completely clear, we have removed this darkness, this ignorance within ourselves. Once we are completely clear, we have ascended into the higher planes. We become master of our own life. Everything becomes a product of our creation. But until we are not ready to do that, it would be too much to manifest all those things, because all our fear will manifest. So it is a process. We want to be free from darkness and filled with light. So this is the message, if anything else. For this darkness that is a part of us has to be integrated, but it can never dominate. Not only does it cannot dominate ourselves, but eventually it will vanish and be integrated within the light. For God, before God created the universe, we live in a universe of duality, yin and yang. God had already resolved the puzzle within the symbol of the Tao, the yin and the yang, the darkness and the light, that is constantly in balancing all the aspects. And there is the darkness within the light and the light within the darkness. Those are observators, the great spiritual beings that are eternally united and balance out always. So everything is resolved within that symbol. It is far more than a logo. It's one of the most important understanding. Once we resolve the world of symbols are hiding great truths and mysteries. And the outcome for us is droiture. The droiture is honesty, it's sincerity, it's truthfulness. The more we can be true, the better it is. For in a sense, it is the only way to be honorable is to stick to the truth. For liars, always try to avoid the truth, and so they have no honor. There is no honor in avoiding the truth. For some time we need to wrap it up in order not to reveal something that would hurt somebody. But this is not about that. It is about being as honest, as sincere as possible. For the 3 keys to spiritual ascensions are sincerity, more sincerity, and the 3rd key is even more sincerity. For once we achieve that, we find who we are, we find that true self. To sign on self, be true, to know yourself. This is the answer. But before we can be true to ourselves, we have to know who we are. I'm going to pull out one card from the Archangels, and you see here we have the King of Raphael. Wow, what a wonderful... This is a relationship card. This is warm, generous, honorable, and refined. It says, yes, you can trust the capacity to do many things at one time. Let your creative flow follow all your artistic passion. So do not be afraid. Just move into whatever makes you feel right. And from there, it's about accepting the blessing. For in a sense, we have to balance out the ego, the soul, and the I am presence. Those are 3 parts that have to be, for the I am presence, maybe above that, but it is the balance between the light soul and the darkness of the ego. And so we have to accept and integrate that. Once we do that, our soul will not fight against our life purpose, and the I am presence will always be supportive of our highest potential for the greatest expression within our life path. So it is about, the only opposition is the ignorance of the ego that thinks it knows better. So there is a great transfer of consciousness and power from the ego to the soul. In a sense, we're looking for the first cause. We may not know the first cause of the universe. We assume that it is God, of course. But as all spiritual and religious belief will tell you, and we cannot cannot deny that. But yet, if we want to find it, it is easy to understand that the first cause is love. If you stay in love and light, you are in the first cause, and then all the effect will be love and light. For if we do not choose that as the first cause that motivates our action, our thoughts, our intention, then we may create out of fear, and then we'll have something less than love. Another thing I wanted to say that is very important to reconnect to the crystal kingdom, crystal realm for our physical self. We have to crystallize our body, crystallize our consciousness. All the technologies of the future are depending on the comprehension of crystal, of holographic imaging, and the mastery of electromagnetic field. For that is the next challenge for humanity once we go beyond the apps and all those things that they're working on right now. For there is a great deal of a DNA activation. The sun is activating. The great sun is supreme within the sky. There is no Plato explained that it is the soul. It stands supreme in the sky. Nobody can resist the sun. When the sun arrives, all the shadows disappear. It is so. Be like the sun. Understand your nature is the sun. You are a stellar being, and the more you allow yourself to shine, you reconnect to the inner sun, and as we breathe, we activate this light, and it becomes ever greater. So there is all kinds of activation from Arcturus, from Sirius, from the Pleiades, from Andromeda, from many civilizations. For we all have those origin, those Orion, or within our DNA. The DNA is a complex molecule that we only have one of them. It is all the same, whether it manifests a cell that's part of the eye, or it's part of the nail, or the DNA is very, very intelligent. It resists the temptation to merge into this great water, because it's made up of water, but there is a membrane to the cell that's in resistance, so that it can create this amazing body. And the sun, as we reconnect our DNA, for our DNA is our own program. It is all of our physical and psychological behavior are connected to a function within our DNA that makes us unique. And this DNA is also the DNA is a copy of the DNA of God. But we only have 3% of that DNA that is active. So what is about the 97% is all that is unknown about who we are. And as we reconnect, we all have the divine masculine and divine feminine, the divine with our man or woman. For we all have this reasoning power that is the divine masculine, and this intuitive power, this receptive power that is the divine feminine. Once those two energies are working in are fully activated and in perfect harmony, there is the third brain that is being activated, the cerebellum, which will give us much more understanding in relation to the world of energy. And so I want to say I've written a book. It's in French right now. I'm going to do an English version. It explains all the protocols that we need in order to travel into other planets, other dimensions, starships, visit the galactic families, and so on. And I've been doing that for almost 30 years, so I'm very comfortable. For me, it is natural to enjoy all those connections, but it is also my mission to reveal those protocols so that everybody can do it and practice it. For this book, we'll soon. I'm hoping to be able to soon present it and come to help and discuss to answer all the questions in relation to that, so that we can free ourselves for in many sense we are interdimensional being, and we have to reconnect to all those higher planes, our galactic planes, in order to integrate this light. But there will come a point in time where humanity will be ready for a first contact. For the galactics are very close. Those are higher beings of light and divine light and wisdom. They're not here to take over the program of the earth. We have to self-determine for that for ourselves. They're just here to assist in our evolution, in our education. And so, of course, there are extraterrestrials that have agenda, but those are not to be considered. They have to do not get involved in any extraterrestrial forces or dark forces that could have a plan. They may be very advanced technologically, but if they have no wisdom to share, they want to manipulate to achieve an agenda. So it is good to work through the Intergalactic Federation of Light, the Galactic Federation of Light, or the Intergalactic Federation of Free World, or the Pleiadian Syrian Council, or the Arcturian Council, or there is all kinds of councils of light. So those you can fully rely on, and ask your guardian angel to show you, or your master guide to show you the way if you need. For we all have invisible helpers that are the guardians of great wisdom, and so we have to learn to establish a protocol of communication every day with them. For that will increase the quality of our life. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I thank you very much for supporting, for sharing, for liking if you like those videos, subscribing if you're new to the channel. I'm going to finish with a little song. I wasn't going to sing, but Spirit said it's better to sing, so I may as well finish in music. It's a song I've already sang in the past. It's a French song. That's an English version of a French song. It goes like this. If you go away on this summer day, then you might as well take the sun away. All the birds that flew in the summer sky when our love was new and our hearts were high, and the day was young and the nights were long, and the moon stood still for the night bird's song. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away, but if you stay, I'll make you a day like no day has been or will be again. We'll sail the sun, we'll ride on the rain, we'll talk to the trees and fly with the wind. But if you go away, when I love you so, there'll be nothing left in this world, you know. Just an empty room full of empty space, like the empty look I see on your face. If you go away, if you go away, if you go away, but if you stay, I'll make you a day like no day has been or will be again. We'll sail the sun, we'll ride on the rain, we'll talk to the trees and fly with the wind. But if you go away, if you go away, please don't go away. Well, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Thank you. Namaste.